The cross is one of the most recognizable symbols in the world. Even non-Christians recognize this as the symbol of the Christian faith. We see it everywhere. People put it on their cars, they wear it as jewelry, they keep them in their homes. What we miss, though, is that this would have been extremely scandalous in the first century. The cross was sort of like the first century version of the electric chair, a method of execution reserved for the worst criminals, those who were treasonous against the empire, those who were slaves who deserved nothing but death. And yet, in that first century world, it was the early Christians who came along and said that the world's true king was a Jewish peasant named Jesus of Nazareth, who had been nailed to one of these crosses and yet had risen from the dead. And because of that, the world was a very different place. It was that message that the early disciples carried around the Mediterranean world. They spoke to Romans and Jews, both for whom the cross was scandalous. Paul writes to the Corinthian church, "The message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but it is the power of God unto salvation for those who believe." The cross is still a scandal today. Many people don't understand its meaning. Even in the church, we say things like, Jesus died on the cross for our sins, which is absolutely true. But how does that work? How does the death of a Jewish peasant, who we believe was the Son of God 2,000 years ago, save us from sin and death? In this Lenten series, we're going to look deeply at the message of the cross and try to understand the death of Jesus through the lens of the Old and New Testaments, through the lens of ancient commentators and theologians who will teach us about how this deeper meaning of the cross brings us to salvation, not just for us, but for the whole world. I hope you'll join us for this 6-week series as we explore the message of the cross. We'll see you there.